program for Islamic Economics and Finance has various excellent programs including internship course for 6 semesters, fieldwork study abroad, international internship program, Arabic course for 2 semesters, inbound and outbound student exchange program, international conference delegation, certification of competence, delegation of international summer course, and foreign guest lecture program. Graduates of this degree are suitably qualified for employment in financial institution, the Financial Service Authority or OJK, central bank, and private public services, both global and nationally. EPF UMY towards a reputable program on Islamic economics. The dreams and hope can give you motivation and hope in life. The quality process and an outstanding environment support you on your way to success. Here, you are taught how to have noble character to lead to a superior and Islamic personality. Yogyakarta is a city as a mirror of world growth that continues to advance along with optimism for economic growth and accelerated development in various fields. In this city too, the first international program for Islamic economics and finance in Indonesia is located. EPF is the international program for Islamic economics and finance initiated by Dr. Mashyudi Mukarrabin and was officially launched in 2009 in collaboration with the Department of Islamic Economics, Universitas Airlangga, Surabaya. EPF is structurally under Department of Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta.
IPF is a leading and reputable international program in Islamic economics and finance for undergraduate in Indonesia. IPF has a large network nationally and internationally with reputable institutions. IPF students has been sent to many countries for exchange students: Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, Turkey, and European countries. I strongly suggest you to join IPF. The graduates of IPF has worked in good institutions, whether in government or in private sectors. All the best for you joining with IPF.
Our vision to become a leading economic study program in enhancing knowledge and technology based on Islamic value in Southeast Asia by year 2025.
To achieve such vision, EPF sets 4 missions including internationalization, academic excellence, research core base, and empowering people. There are various achievements at national to international levels which are proof of our quality, as well as various institutions that are members of cooperation in various fields from national to international, including Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, China, Korea, to Spain. A perfect collaboration until we got institutional accreditation with an A grade from BANPT. What benefit you can get if you join this study program, including first, they will be given an opportunity to conduct students' exchange to EPF university partners. Second, a valuable opportunity is given to conduct internship in financial institutions and governmental authorities. Third, they will be encouraged to attend and participate in international conferences related to economics, banking, and finance. Fourth, they are prepared to reach English proficiency score or TOEFL. Fifth, They will be equipped by Islamic internationalization program at EPF character building programs. Facing competition in an increasingly open era of globalization, the development of insight, deepening of competence and expansion of network is urgently needed to increase competitiveness. The strength of competitiveness also needs to be supported by the presence of professional staff with character born from a superior education process.
Welcome to the International Program for Islamic Economics and Finance, Department of Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. IPF prepares the professional and competitive graduates in the area of economics, banking, Islamic finance, and Islamic economics. Let's join IPF and be part of the international community.
The International Program for Islamic Economics and Finance has various excellent programs including internship course for 6 semesters, fieldwork study abroad, international internship program, Arabic course for 2 semesters, inbound and outbound student exchange program, international conference delegation, certification of competence, delegation of international summer course, and foreign guest lecture program. Graduates of this degree are suitably qualified for employment in financial institution, the Financial Service Authority or OJK, central bank, and private public services, both global and nationally. EPF UMY towards a reputable program on Islamic economics. The dreams and hope can give you motivation and hope in life. The quality process and an outstanding environment support you on your way to success. Here, you are taught how to have noble character to lead to a superior and Islamic personality. Yogyakarta is a city as a mirror of world growth that continues to advance along with optimism for economic growth and accelerated development in various fields. In this city too, the first international program for Islamic economics and finance in Indonesia is located. EPF is the international program for Islamic economics and finance initiated by Dr. Mashyudi Mukarrabin and was officially launched in 2009 in collaboration with the Department of Islamic Economics, Universitas Airlangga, Surabaya. EPF is structurally under Department of Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta.
IPF is a leading and reputable international program in Islamic economics and finance for undergraduate in Indonesia. IPF has a large network nationally and internationally with reputable institutions. IPF students has been sent to many countries for exchange students: Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, Turkey, and European countries. I strongly suggest you to join IPF. The graduates of IPF has worked in good institutions, whether in government or in private sectors. All the best for you joining with IPF.
Our vision to become a leading economic study program in enhancing knowledge and technology based on Islamic value in Southeast Asia by year 2025.
To achieve such vision, EPF sets 4 missions including internationalization, academic excellence, research core base, and empowering people. There are various achievements at national to international levels which are proof of our quality, as well as various institutions that are members of cooperation in various fields from national to international, including Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, China, Korea, to Spain. A perfect collaboration until we got institutional accreditation with an A grade from Ban PT. What benefit you can get if you join this study program, including first, they will be given an opportunity to conduct students' exchange to EPF university partners. Second, a valuable opportunity is given to conduct internship in financial institutions and governmental authorities. Third, they will be encouraged to attend and participate in international conferences related to economics, banking, and finance. Fourth, they are prepared to reach English proficiency score or TOEFL. Fifth, they will be equipped by Islamic internationalization program and EPF character building programs. Facing competition in an increasingly open era of globalization, the development of insight, deepening of competence, and expansion of network is urgently needed to increase competitiveness. The strength of competitiveness also needs to be supported by the presence of professional staff with character born from a superior education process.
Welcome to the International Program for Islamic Economics and Finance, Department of Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. IPF prepares the professional and competitive graduates in the area of economics, banking, Islamic finance, and Islamic economics. Let's join IPF and be part of the international community.
The International Program for Islamic Economics and Finance has various excellent programs including internship course for 6 semesters, fieldwork study abroad, international internship program, Arabic course for 2 semesters, inbound and outbound student exchange program, international conference delegation, certification of competence, delegation of international summer course, and foreign guest lecture program. Graduates of this degree are suitably qualified for employment in financial institution, the Financial Service Authority or OJK, central bank, and private public services, both global and nationally. EPF UMY towards a reputable program on Islamic economics. The dreams and hope can give you motivation and hope in life. The quality process and an outstanding environment support you on your way to success. Here, you are taught how to have noble character to lead to a superior and Islamic personality. Yogyakarta is a city as a mirror of world growth that continues to advance along with optimism for economic growth and accelerated development in various fields. In this city too, the first international program for Islamic economics and finance in Indonesia is located. EPF is the international program for Islamic economics and finance initiated by Dr. Mashyudi Mukarrabin and was officially launched in 2009 in collaboration with the Department of Islamic Economics, Universitas Airlangga, Surabaya. EPF is structurally under Department of Economics, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta.
IPF is a leading and reputable international program in Islamic economics and finance for undergraduate in Indonesia. IPF has a large network nationally and internationally with reputable institutions. IPF students has been sent to many countries
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ganjar Prambudi. It is a precious chance for me to be your master of ceremony on this very special event, the 5th ITL's Summer School International Training for Young Islamic Economics Leader. First of all, let's say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who give us guidance, happiness, healthy, and mercy, so we can attend and participate in this special event without any obstacles. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who had brought us to the right path in this life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our Head Department of Economics Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Professor Indah Sabtuti Ningsih, and then the chairman of the 5th ITLs 2022, Dr. Dimas Bagus Winata Kusuma, our lecturers who attend in this ceremony, our special speakers, Professor Dr. Imamuddin Yuliadi, Dr. Mustafa, and then Dr. Claudia, and of course the audience, the participants online and offline. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this special morning, we have several agenda. First, the opening. Second, reciting the Holy Quran. And then singing Indonesia anthems, Indonesia Raya, Sang Surya, and Mars Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Speech from our chairman of ITLs, Dr. Dimas Bagus Winata Kusuma, and the head of Economics Study Programs, Faculty of Economics and Business, Yogyakarta, photo session and souvenirs, seminars, and then closing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this event by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Move to the next agenda is reciting the Holy Quran. Will be recited by my brother Ali Zainal Abidin. To Brother Ali, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Surah Al-Mulk ayat 20 sampai 23. A'udzu billahi minas syaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amman hadzal ladzi huwa jundul lakum yansurukum min dunir rahman. Inil kafiruna illa fi gurur. Amman hadzal ladzi yarzuqukum in amsaka rizqah bal lajju fi utuwin wan nufur. Afaman yamsi mukibban ala wajhihi ahda amman yamsi sawiyan ala siratim mustaqim. Qul huwallazi ansa'akum wa ja'ala lakumus sam'a wal absara wal af'idah qalilan ma tashkurun. Sadaqallahul azim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, my brother Ali Zainal Abidin, who has recited the Holy Quran. May Allah always bless us. Amin. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Indonesia National Anthems, Indonesia Raya, Sang Surya, and Mars Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. distinguished guests, you may be seated in your chair. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the speech from our fifth ITL's chairman, Dr. Dimas Bagus Wiranata Kusuma. The stage is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected Professor Imamuddin Yuliadi, respected Professor Enda, Dr. Claudia, Dr. Titis, Brother Dabab Sheikh, Dr. Romi, and all of the participants and audience of the 5th International Training for Young Islamic Economic Leaders. First of all, let thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us the message and blessing today, so we can be in the best of health and iman right now. Secondly, salat and salam may always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, ummah who was following him. And thirdly, on behalf of the 5th International Training for Young Islamic Economic Leaders, we would like to warmly welcome all of the guests. Dr. Claudia, welcome from UK. Brother Dabase from Palestine, Prof. Imam, and all of the audiences who have attended this conference from all parts of the world and part of the Indonesian corner. We would like to again thank you so much for your attendance. So this 5th ITLs actually is the continuation of the internationalization program agenda that has been planned by our departments of economics. So this year, this program have a topic on promoting creative economy and sustainable development goals. So this year is different with the previous year. So we have been 5 times organizing this conference, but this event is different in terms of the method of conference. So this year we try to make a blended activities, either online and offline. And secondly, we have 3 different courses, Dr. Claudia, that offered to the students. We have financial system, natural resources, and also microeconometrics. So all the participants, alhamdulillah, coming from 6 different countries, attended either on and offline basis, and also around 90 participants. So this program has been started since 25th of July until 6th of August 2022. And all the participants that have attended this event will be given certificate of completion upon the end of the programs. And also this programs basically tries to promote the environment of internalization that has been promoted by Department of Economics. And alhamdulillah, today we are so glad and proud and very blessed to have Dr. Claudia, Prof. Imam, Dababse, and all of the participants that have attended this event. So we wish that this program will be flourish and continue to the next year. And hopefully all the participants that has attended these events, either on and offline, you are satisfied with the program. And the committee members would like also to apologize if there are so many mistakes made during the programs. Thank you so much. Have a very good seminars and have a good conference. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for Dr. Dimas Bagus Wiranata for the speech. We move to the next agenda. The speech will delivered by Professor Indah Satudinasi, the head Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Professor Indah, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in ala umuri dunya waddin wa sallallahu ala wasallam Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I heartily welcome you all on the behalf of Economics Study Program, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. For the prestigious occasion of opening ceremony for 5th International Training Young Islamic Economics Leader, or ITYLS, this international summer school program will be carried out with the theme Creative Economy and Promoting Sustainable Development Goals. It is the great privilege also to welcome our speaker this morning, Dr. Claudia Aravena from Heriot-Watt University, and then Mr. Mustafa Dababse from Smart College for Modern Education, Palestine, and Professor Dr. Imamuddin Yuliadi from Economics Study Program, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, and all participants and guests. Currently, we are faced with the challenge of economic growth that must increase, but still we have to preserve the environment. Indonesia, which has the potential of natural and human resources, and can encourage sustainable economic growth through the creative industry, which is the government promoted. How to face this challenge, we will learn from this speaker this morning, and I hope this event will highlight preparing Indonesia's sustainable economic development. In closing, I wish this event will be successful, and I wish to express my gratitude to all participants for full cooperation and contribution to this international seminar. And by reciting Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the 5th International Training Young Islamic Economics Leader is officially open. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Indah, for the speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the next agenda. Photo session and souvenirs to our speakers. So please, our speakers and the chairman of 5th ITYLS, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, and then the head of economic study programs to move to the stage. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the main lecture, the international seminar from our speakers. This session will be led by Dr. Diah Budiatitis. Dr. Diatitis actually our lecturer in the economics department, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. The bachelor degree from Universitas Gadjah Mada in 2005 in economics, and then master degree from the Australian National University in economics, Crawford School and Government, and her PhD from International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, from College International Institute of Islamic Thoughts and Civilization. So, Dr. Diatitis, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mas Ganjar, for master ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, brother and sister. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Praise to Allah Almighty and salawat to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Welcome to the opening ceremony of 5th International Training for Young Islamic Economics Leaders, ITILS 2022. And this international summer school program will be carried out with the theme Creative Economy and Promoting Sustainable Development Goals. My name is Diah Titis Kusumawardani, your session chair for International Seminar ITILS Opening Ceremony. Our outstanding speaker, please welcome to the stage the Honorable Prof. Imamuddin Yuliadi, Professor of Economic Study Program, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Please welcome, Professor. And then Mr. Mustafa Dababseh, the lecturer at Smart College for Modern Educations, Palestine. Please enter the stage. And Dr. Claudia Aravena, lecturer at Heriot-Watt University, United Kingdom. Please enter the main stage. And welcome to the participants who have attended these sessions, both offline and online, in Zoom meeting. Thank you for joining us today. I hope all is going well. This event is opening session from the series of ITILS event held on 25 July to 6 August 2022. And we don't forget to remind that make sure to keep updated and participate for upcoming agenda and of International Summer School Program and help with hybrid mode on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, brother and sister, let me to give an introduction to the seminar and discussion in this session. The creative economy is one of the world's most rapidly growing sector. Creativity is also renewable, sustainable, limitless resources that we can find anywhere around the world. Prior to the pandemic, the creative industry was booming and creative new jobs in every corner of the world, with the creative sector anticipated to account for up to 10% of global GDP by 2030. The recession has brought this extraordinary rise to a halt, exposing the fragility of industry characteristic by micro businesses, informal labor practices, and scarcity of physical assets. Lockdowns have also emphasized the critical role of cultural and creative activity in sustaining individual and societal well-being and resilience. In this international seminar, Prof. Dr. Imamuddin Yuladi will deliver the lecture entitled Creative Economy and SDGs, Prospects and Challenges on Indonesian Economy. Dr. Mustafa Dababseh will deliver the lecture entitled The Development of Islamic Banking and Finance in Palestine. And Dr. Claudia Aravena, he will deliver the lecturer entitled Role of the Environment, Research and Innovation in SDGs Wedding Cake. Let me read the CV of our speakers. Okay, please stop to present the CV. Okay. The our first speaker, Prof. Dr. Imamuddin Yuladi. The time is yours.
Kita patut bahagia dan bangga. Indonesia dinobatkan sebagai negara terindah di dunia tahun 2022 oleh situs Inggris money.co.uk. Prestasi ini berhasil mengalahkan berbagai negara terkenal lain di Asia dan Eropa. Ada 50 negara yang disertakan yang tiap negara dianalisis berdasarkan 7 faktor. Di antaranya gunung berapi, pegunungan, terumbu karang, kawasan lindung, garis pantai, hutan hujan, serta gletser. Setiap faktor dihitung per 100.000 km persegi, menggunakan angka luas lahan yang bersumber dari data Bank Dunia. Kemudian diberi skor normal 10 untuk setiap faktor sebelum skor rata-rata di ketujuh faktor diambil. Indonesia menjadi negara terindah dengan skor kecantikan alami, Natural Beauty Score 7,77 dari 10. Setiap jarak 100.000 km persegi wilayah di Indonesia terdapat keindahan alam, seperti pegunungan, terumbu karang, hutan tropis, hingga gletser. Menurut penulis money.co.uk, Salhaki, keindahan alam Indonesia sangat menakjubkan. Indonesia adalah negara terindah di dunia. Setiap 100.000 km persegi, negara tersebut memiliki keindahan alam yang menakjubkan, kata Salhaki. Keindahan itu sebagian besar dapat dijelajahi di Bali dan juga hutan tropis di Sumatera dan Kalimantan, serta cagar alam orangutan dan sejumlah situs warisan dunia UNESCO seperti Taman Nasional Komodo. Posisi kedua dinobatkan kepada Selandia Baru dengan skor kecantikan alami 7,27 dari 10. Dan ketiga ditempati negara Kolombia dengan skor 7,16 dari 10. Indonesia adalah negara besar yang terdiri dari ribuan pulau, beraneka suku dan budaya. Ada lebih 17.000 pulau, 1.300-an suku, bahkan memiliki lebih 600-an bahasa. Kekayaan Indonesia tidak hanya bersumber dari sumber daya alam yang melimpah, namun juga kekayaan budaya yang majemuk sebagai pemersatu bangsa. Kita berharap Indonesia tidak hanya dikenal sebagai negara dengan keindahan alamnya, tetapi juga keragaman dan keberagamannya yang paling toleran di dunia. Kita patut bangga menjadi Indonesia.
Okay, Professor, each of the speaker will have 20 minutes to deliver their lecture, and then we have 45 minutes for Q&A. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
The Honorable Mr. Mustafa from Palestine, the Honorable Mrs. Claudia from UK, and all participants, IT Yields, and Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. First of all, we pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Salam for Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And today I would like to present. The title is Creative Economy and Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). Prospect and challenges on Indonesian economy. What is the creative economy? Before I start my presentations, I have display about the tourism in Indonesia. Indonesia have many beautiful tourism destinations. In Yogyakarta there are Borobudur Temple, Prambanan Temple. And I hope some participant can go there in this tourism destination. Okay. Because tourism that there are related about the creative economy. What is the creative economy? I quote from UNCTAD, UNCTAD. The creative economy has no single definitions. It is an evolving concept which builds on the interplay between human creativity and ideas and intellectual property, knowledge and technology. Essentially, it is the knowledge-based economics activities upon which the creative industries are based. It is the definitions from UNCTAD about the creative economy. The creative industries, which include advertising, architecture, arts and craft, design, fashion, film and video, photography, music, performance arts, publishing, research and development, software, computer games, yeah, electronic publishing, TV and radio are the livelihood of the creative economy. They are also considered an important source of our opinions, yeah, our imagines, yeah, with the kinds of products in the YouTube, yeah. Okay. Next, application and game developer, yeah, is also one kind of the creative economy. It is potential, especially from the young generations, yeah, can produce, yeah, and also can manage about the application and game developer. Okay, next, design interior and architecture. You can see, yeah, like in our room, yeah, today it is one room in postgraduate program, yeah. You can see in apa table
2,000 rupiah, which means it gives the value of a product. And the car is, for example, 2 million, 3 million, etc. But in conventional banks, they deal with money as a medium of exchange and store of value. But there is one extra point here which contradicts with the Islamic Sharia, where they deal with money as products. When they deal with money as products, it means that this product, which is the money, is able to be sold readily, which is not accepted by Islam. The third point here we have the relationship of customer with the bank, where in the Islamic banking system, a customer get profits based on an agreement between and the bank is a creditor and debtor relationship. For example, if me as a customer go to a conventional bank to invest my money, I take profit based on an interest rate. In Islam, it's called usurious interest, which is considered forbidden in Islam. I take this percent based on the capital I invest in the bank. For example, if I invest $100,000 and the interest I gain is 3%, for example, a year, then at the end of the year, I take $300. Okay? It's not matter if the bank get profit or loss in this investment. It's not the customer's issue here. The customer just gain the fixed percentage of profits, which contradicts the Islamic Sharia, where in Islam we believe in the uncertainty of the investments we do. Okay, so in Islam it's the opposite. If you invest, for example, at $10,000, you will get a kind of profits based on the profits gained at the end of the period of the contract, not from the beginning. In conventional banks, the interest is known from the beginning, but in Islamic banking system, it is at the end of the contract period, which may be a year or 2 years or more. Okay. The fourth point is the nature of transactions, where the transactions in the Islamic banking system are based on trading real businesses, where the Islamic banks buy or do a kind of real investment, a kind of commerce or real estates with the money they take from the investments, from the investors in the banks. However, in conventional banks, the money is the product. They take money from investors while they give them a kind of profits with a 3% of interest rate, and they reinvest the same money in cash to another customers, where they gain, for example, 7% of profits for the bank. So then they give 3% of the they give 3% of the 7% to the customer by reusing the money in cash, not using the money in real business or real commerce. So they don't buy real products or services with these money. The fifth point we have is the risk tolerance, because the future is not known for us as humans. Nobody, like before the year 2020, expected what will happen for our economies around the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So many investors, especially the private sectors or the new startups, small businesses, got many losses in these 2 years, between the year 2020 and 2022. So, for example, if there is an investor who took a loan in the year 2019 and who did not expect what will happen next year because of the pandemic, get losses. Of course, get losses because every sectors of economy were closed in these 2 years. especially in the year 2021, and no income. So in conventional banks example, we find that the bank don't share the investor in the risk. The losses are afforded by the investor himself only. The bank don't participate or share that losses. But in Islamic banking system, there is a kind of share because it's based on real businesses or commercials that are commonly invested between the bank, the Islamic bank, and the investor, where the bank share the loss. If, for example, if the contract is based on 50% profit, it means 50% in loss, but in the Islamic banks. But in the conventional banks, it's 100% profit for the conventional bank and 100% loss for the investor, which will never create a real growth or real development of the economies. The sixth point is the return and dividend distribution. As we mentioned before, the profits in Islamic banking system is defined at the end of the period. However, it's not, it's unknown because the future is known by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, not for humans. However, in conventional banks, it's known from the first moment when you make the contract. We have only 2 points for 2 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes left.
Okay. The seventh point is the control and inspection. In conventional banks, there is no control over the conventional banks' processes and procedures. However, in Islamic banks, there is Islamic Sharia supervisory bodies that audit the work of Islamic banks and make sure that all the services provided by Islamic banks are accepted by Islamic Sharia. The last point is the purpose. At the end here, we say that the purpose of Islamic banks is to gain real economic development based on the local, the regional, and the global scope. However, the conventional banks just increase the wealth of rich people who are the investors in the banks, who are the owners, the stakeholders of conventional banks, who get accurate profits without taking any percent of risk toward their investments. So it increases the wealth of rich people and increases the poverty of poor people. The Islamic banking system in Palestine faces many challenges. The next slide, please. Which is the high degree of unequal competition with the conventional banks. As I mentioned before, Islamic banks are still new, and the conventional banks are have a long history and experience in this field. The second point is the shortage of specialists. Until this moment, Islamic banking system around the world, not only in Palestine, suffer from the shortage of specialists, as there is no let's say programs in the universities that gives the suitable programs for teaching Islamic economists to manage and to coordinate the work of the Islamic banking system. The second point is the lack of awareness of economic aspects of the Islamic banking system. In Palestine, many of the people still until this moment believe that there is no common difference between the conventional banks and Islamic banks. The only difference is in the name, which is totally wrong. The second point is the reluctance to make profitable investment decisions, where the decision makers in Islamic banks all the time feel worry about the investments they will participate in order not to fall in not accepted businesses and investments by the Sharia. The last but not the least, the recommendations here we have for the Islamic banking sector in Palestine is to open more academic specializations in universities that focus more in the economic aspect of Islamic financial banking transactions, as there is a shortage of the specialists in this field. Then we have a need to increase the focus on marketing and promoting what distinguishes the Islamic banking system services from the conventional ones in Palestine, using various traditional and digital marketing methods. The third point is extend bridges of cooperation with the various Islamic banks regionally and globally, especially the oldest banks in this field, whether in Indonesia or in the Islamic countries that adopt this banking system from the past, with the aim of acquiring more experience and knowledge of various Islamic financing methods. And the last point is to carry out larger marketing studies on the needs of various groups in the Palestinian market to gain a competitive advantage by giving services to some of the sectors that don't get banking services from conventional banks. At the end, I would like to thank you for the attention you gave me, and for Muhammadiyah University and Professor Dr. Imamuddin for giving me the honor to be a part of this great ceremony with you here. And terima kasih. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Mustafa Dababseh for your comprehensive presentation on the material. A point that I can conclude that creative economy will be critical for ensuring an inclusive recovery that boosts small enterprises and employment for vulnerable groups in the rural and urban area, and this could not be separated with the role of the bank and also the Islamic bank. And thus Islamic banking and finance in Palestine has many prospects and challenges in its development. Okay, now we proceed to the third speaker, Dr. Claudia Aravena. The time is yours.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank this invitation to ONY, and well, it's an honor as well to be here and start in the start of this summer school. So thank you very much. Today I am coming to talk to you a bit on the role of environment research and innovation in the SDGs wedding cake. And before starting my presentation, if the presentation can be, if it can be, the slides, please. So before starting the presentation, I would like to ask something to those who are here present. Have you heard this of the wedding cake of the SDGs? Raise your hands, so those who have heard or know about the Sustainable Development Goals wedding cake. Anyone? No. Okay. Well, let's have a wedding cake today in this talk. So, next, please. So I'm going to talk today to you about the Sustainable Development Goals in a nutshell, because I could really deliver a full course on this. We will talk about the role of the environment in the SDG wedding cake, and the research and innovation influencing policy making that goes to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So, what we have here? We have here the Sustainable Development Goals that were made public by the UN in the agenda for sustainable development. We have here the 2030 agenda for sustainable development that was created after in 2015. The UN says, like, okay, what are our goals or targets for 2030? So this is a comprehensive a comprehensive agenda, which is much larger and complete than the one that we had before, that was the Millennium Goals, which was focused mainly on developing countries. This one is a universal agenda, a universal framework. If you see this slide, you see it looks complicated. When we talk about SDGs, and we look at, okay, the new framework, a bit of, I wouldn't like to say a drawback, but I would like to say it's one of the challenges, like it is a bit complicated. It may be difficult to prioritize when we have all these goals. And it's not only 17 goals. Why is complicated? Why is complex? Is each of these goals have targets, and the targets have indicators, because every year there is a meeting where the people evaluate the countries. Okay, so there are 169 targets, so almost 170 targets, and several indicators to see how are doing. The countries are doing. So what is good of this is that this present a framework that allow us to say, like, okay, is my country sustainable? But it's not just countries. We are talking as well, if you have a business, is your business sustainable? And these sustainable goals just allow you to say that. So now, one important thing, that this is universal. So it applies the same for developing or developed countries. Next, please. So it's not just, it's my country, no, the previous one. So we have a common language here. It's a way of comparison between the sustainable path of the different countries. Okay? So, next, please. In order to deal with this, the Stockholm Resilience Center in the in the Swedish Academy, I had the opportunity in 2016 to be a fellow in to be in the Bayer Institute, which is part of the Stockholm Resilience Center, and they were developing this organization of the framework. So how we do with these 17 goals? They said, like, okay, we have several layers in here. We have specifically three layers in the development goal. So the first layer, as you can see in here, is the environment, where we have 4 of the development goals. I'm not going to go for each of one of these, but the second one is the society. The third one, and the top one, is the economy. Okay? So now we have a classification of the sustainable development goals and these 3 layers. Now, next, please. What we need to look in here is how we get these different layers interconnected. And it's not just the layers, how we get each of these development goals interconnected between the different layers. And in this part, and this is what we need to put or pay attention, the policy making is important. So we want to know this, not only to analyze what is happening, what is our status quo in terms of sustainable development, but also to design policies that will impact from the base to the top level of this. So let's have a look at an example. Next, please. So we have economic development here, okay? But the economic development. The economic development cannot be possible without taking into account these other goals. Let's start here with goal number 8, which is in the top layer, the economy. So 3 goals that are important: the poverty, no poverty, good health and well-being, and no zero hunger. So we cannot have economic development without having food security, well-being, improvements in poverty. However, how can we have food security, for example, if we don't have conservation of biodiversity, if we don't take care of the agriculture, of the land, if we don't take care of the water resources? So what you can see here is that there is a completely interaction between this base, which is the biosphere, with the other slide, with the other stages. So next one, please. So we have here these 3 pillars. You can also see this like the pillars of sustainability. So these 3 pillars are like a pyramid. So this is like a pyramid. What happens when we have this pyramid? If we want to really achieve this sustainability, we need to take care, next please, the base of this. We need a stable and resilient planet. Why? Because if you see this pyramid, the base of this is made by the environment development goals. Next, please. So the base of our sustainable development pyramid, or the wedding cake, and here is, this is what is called the wedding cake. So this view developed by the Stockholm Resilience Center is what we call the wedding cake. It's like the form of a wedding cake. And then we need, we need to look at these 4 important pillars, 4 important development goals. The number 15, the life on land. The 14, the life below water. The 6, which is the clean water and sanitation, and the climate action, which is, I don't know if you remember the COP26 that just was in Scotland last year, and then we have the new COPs coming over. So it's all about that part of climate action. So this is important because this is the base of the cake. And we need to take care of this if we don't want the rest to collapse. If we don't take care of this, we won't be able to achieve the other goals on the top. So, next one. So it is here where we start to talk about other elements that we need to support the system and achieve the sustainable goals. It's here where we now start to look at what other elements really will make this possible. And these elements are there are many others, okay, but I just want to highlight these 4. Innovation, and then we had, we talked at the beginning a lot about innovation. Inclusion is not only about developing countries. This is all the developed countries making, the carbon tax. And no, this is about inclusion of everyone here. It's about partnerships. It's not everyone individually, every country individually, but is making the economy. We have a global economy, and so we need partnerships in order to get this or achieve these economic goals. But we have frameworks for this, and this is not just a framework of the Sustainable Development Goals. We need policy, because we are ruled by policy. So we need, and here is where economics
play a big role. And not only economics, we have partnership inclusion, is where everyone here, no matter what, if you are an economist, if you are a biologist, if you are an engineer, is where you have a role here. How to influence this policy. So next one. So policy making is what I'm gonna focus in this last part of the presentation. So how we make research, or how we actually help this through innovation and through research to achieve development goals and influence policy. So as you can see here, let's go back again to this example of economic growth, that one of the points or elements of economic growth is food security. And we need a really good environment. We need a sustainable development of activities in the economy. So let's focus, for example, let's take the ocean. The ocean, which provide an important part of the food. Nowadays, we face the overexploitation of marine resources, the overfishing, which is put in risk these targets and goals. Next one, please. So we have different types of problems. The overfishing, but then the plastic. All the problem that we are plastic going in the ocean. If we continue like this, we will have more mass of plastic in the ocean than fish. So we need to do something about that. Then, on the other hand, we have the acidification of the sea, of the ocean, which is part of the resilience of the earth. Okay, so that capacity to absorb, the temperature. And this is due to industrial activity. So we need innovation to really, and research to make this. But then again, next one, please. We are talking here about the sea, but if you see, this is not only affecting the sea, but also is affecting the plastic, affects the land at the same time, and the acidification comes because of the climate problems, and then we have problems as well with this of pollution that affects the water. And again, all this will affect not just the food security, it will affect also the well-being, the health of individuals, and poverty, etc. So we have this relation. We cannot just focus in one SDG. We need to get a global view on this. Next, please. So the framework of sustainability, and I use a lot this, is where do we have to make some work? We need to understand how the environment works and fill the information. What are the impacts of the ecosystem services? What are the impact in the social part or in the people? Whether there is an impact in preferences, in cost benefits. So we have economic activities, and these produce outcomes that will impact and change the ecosystem services. Those changes is information that we get that gets to preferences and value. And in this part, this is important because these preferences and values many times are not explicit. And that produces information that will go to policy institutions who makes a decision. And this decision and produce policy instrument, taxes, for example, subsidies, okay? That many will see in your micro courses, and that affect the economic activity. And the idea is to make this circle as sustainable as possible. Next, please. And so the problem in this is, or the challenge is, how we do with all these ecosystem services that don't have a value. What is the value of the clean air, for example? What is the value of the comfort you get for using certain type of heating or cooling at home. So we could use for this environmental valuation to incorporate that and make decisions in including externalities or external benefit as well. So the principal motivation of this is to include the values in the cost-benefit analysis and design sustainable policy instruments and compensation scheme. Also to include them in the national accounting. Next, please. So, and just to finish, I would like to put some examples of how, next, please. How we integrate the nature with the everyday decision. So, and this is now in your hands, guys. You will be doing, you are the future, you will be doing research, you will be doing a work that is not, please think, it's not just to do the work to get your grade, okay, or to tick a box. So let me give you an example. We did talking about marine research in the Galapagos Island, which is very similar ecosystems to Indonesia. And actually, that is what brings me here. So, next, please. We value the biodiversity in the sharks specifically that were affected by tourists. All the ferries and all the tourism that was in the area, and also overfishing. So next, please. We did a continuing evaluation study there, and I'm not going to go into the details of this. We had estimation, and we got our values of the resource. And full stop. We stopped there. What happened? Nothing. So what? That was an all study. So we cannot just stop there. So okay, the sharks, the value of the shark is $6 million of US dollar, and so what? How here what we need is how to use that, and this type of things is not done by just economists. In order to do this, we need a multidisciplinary group. So let's take that and let's put this in cost-benefit analysis. Let's use this to inform the policy and make or design policy instruments that will generate benefits for the sea, for the society, and for the economy. The wedding cake, again. So, and to finish, next please. Oh, well, I forgot this because I am aware of the time. So just very quick, we have another ongoing project in the Galapagos after this, because we wanted to expand this. How will we use that? Next, please. So we are studying at the moment a different type of policies for conservation. And this is also quite relevant in places like Indonesia. So we want to do conservation of megafauna, for example, ocean. So we have in the Galapagos two types of policy. One is the prohibition of the long-lying gear, and the other is the introduction of non-take zones. So we did an environmental evaluation of this to see which policies people prefer. Because it's not just the design of the policy. We need to work with the social part. Are the policies accepted? Are carbon taxes accepted, for example? Are these types of policy? So we are now working on this, and what we found, next slide, please, is that the willingness to pay for the policies are a bit higher when we talk about long line banning. However, it's not significant. So we went to the policymakers and explained this, and they are now taking decision on the cost-benefit analysis. And finally, in terms of Indonesia, next slide, please. So one thing we are doing here is making a study on how we can empower coastal communities with renewable energy. And this is a part of other of the development goals. So in general, renewable energies are more expensive than traditional sources, and the typical decision is like, we go for the cheaper. But that is a myope decision. Next, please. Because we are not taking into account, really, the externalities. What if we introduce the external benefits, the new type of energy to this, that this type of energy will have for the environment and for the communities? So we introduce this environmental and social benefit through, for example, the use of environmental evaluation or other analysis. And here is where the research and innovation is needed. Here is, and that's what we are I will be doing in the next week, trying to look at how we introduce and we use the communities and we evaluate the natural resources in order to meet the environmental goals, and then just go up into this wedding cake. So to conclude, environmental SDGs, next please. The environmental SDGs are the base of the wedding cake, of the sustainability, and therefore they need a special attention, the environment in this SDG. To account for the interconnection between the SDG is crucial in order to secure the success of the actions. If we want actions that are really effective, we need to account for the interconnection between all these layers of the cake. And finally, research and innovation play a key role in achieving the sustainable development, but always when they go hand by hand with policy. Multidisciplinarity is important, and joint work in here. So that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Claudia Aravena, for your excellent presentation of materials. Some point I can conclude our SDG has 17 goals and 69 targets with many layers. Each different layer of each target should interconnected each other. SDG pillars of sustainability have 3 pillars like a pyramid, and it's formed like a wedding cake. This is what we call SDG wedding cake. If we don't take care of all, then we will collapse. In addition, we should take care of the gold on the top. And this is the role of the environment, research, and innovation. For example, for sustainable energy communities to obtain the environmental and social benefits, thus we need the environmental evaluation. And then to achieve the SDG goals, it needs inclusion, partnership, and the role of policy making. Okay, now we proceed to the next agenda is Q&A session. So let's open the first term with the 3 questions from offline session here. I invited you all to pose the question directly to the speaker. Okay. From this floor. Student, please. Or maybe in online session, you have a question? Okay, maybe my question, for Prof. Imamuddin Yuliadi. Prof, in your presentation, you delivered that one of the prospects of the creative economy in Indonesia is halal tourism. So, how the government effort to support halal tourism in Indonesia until now? Is that already a big agenda, or is that any, like the step or a blueprint, to guide the government to increase the halal tourism in Indonesia? Okay, for Prof. Imamuddin Yuliadi, please answer the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you about your nice questions. Yeah, if we discuss about the halal industry, halal industry, it is the topic that interests to discuss, especially in the issues of Islamic economics in Indonesia. You can see that in the world, the halal industry have promoted by many countries, some countries, like in Chinese, in Korea, in Japan, Thailand, so the problem is how the effort of the Muslim countries like in Indonesia, and government of Indonesia, Republic Indonesia, have the many agenda to promote the halal industry. One of them is government Indonesia make the kawasan ekonomi khusus. What is kawasan ekonomi khusus in transit in Indonesia? Special economic zones. Special economic zones. There are 3 special economic zones in Indonesia, especially to produce the halal industry. In Sidoarjo, in Serang, one is in Kendal. It is one effort of the government of Indonesia. In the special economic zones, government give many incentive to reduce the cost of productions, like the cost of the permit, and also many facility, like the electricity world, and so on. There are the integrations facility from the harbor, and so on. It is, I think, it is one effort of government, Indonesian governments to promote the halal industry. And the other side, under Jokowi era, halal industry, it is one agenda to promote the economic growth in Indonesia. It is, I think, it is my answers for your questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Imam, for the answer. Maybe is there any question from Brother Ganjar? Brother Ganjar, maybe you can post the question for which speaker?
Dr. Mustafa, I want to
Dr. Mustafa.
Okay. Doctor, I try to understand your explanation related to banking system in Palestine, Doctor. Actually, that's very interesting, and I think in Palestine you have dual banking system, right? Conventional and Sharia. Islamic banking in Indonesia practice the implementation Islamic banking in Indonesia to make sure the products, the process is suitable, match with the Islamic teaching. We have Majelis Ulama Indonesia and also DSN MUI, Dewan Syariah Nasional, that's agency to make sure that the product is based on the Islamic principle. How about in Palestine, Doctor? I mean, how they can make sure that the product in Islamic banking in Palestine is suitable with the Islamic teaching? Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, Dr. Mustafa, please.
Okay, Brother Ganjar, thanks for the question, and I hope if I can get more questions from the colleagues and the friends here. As I mentioned in my presentation, there is a kind of Sharia bodies that who control all the banking, Islamic banking services and activities that are provided for the Palestinian citizens to make sure that it is 100% accepted by the Islamic Sharia. So many of the loans or many of the funds that a bank sometimes see it is okay to give for somebody to invest are declined in the process by the bodies who control all these procedures in Palestine in order to make sure that it matches the Islamic convictions 100%. And one of the actually problems we suffer from in Palestine in the Islamic banking system is that many of the, let's say, somehow accepted investments are usually refused by the Sharia bodies who oversight all the activities of the Islamic banks in Palestine, which actually cause a loss of many opportunities, many profitable investments for the Islamic banks that will inevitably contribute to the growth of our economy in Palestine. So that's the way the Islamic banks guarantee for the citizens and for the, let's say, the customers, the correct of the products and services they provide. Where there is a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad says that al-haramu bayyin wal-halalu bayyin. So that's what we, let's say, relate to in most of our banking transactions. Thank you. Any question? Yeah, the conversation is open, and I would like to receive more questions, like to make sure of the understanding of the financial activities and services in Palestine, as this industry is still new and needs much more awareness of us as the new generations that will lead our economies one day in our countries.
I have write down my questions. Okay, Indonesia, the use of the renewable energy has begun to be encouraged, but not many have used it because of the high cost of using renewable energy. And if we are going to conduct a research related to the use of the renewable energy, then apart from calculating the benefit of social and environmental costs, are there many alternative tools such as maybe choice modeling or yeah, maybe the other economic valuation method like that? Maybe you have any idea to conduct research related to the use of the renewable energy, so that we can give the recommendation for the government. And the second one, besides that, the problem of plastic waste is the major problem in Indonesia because the government policy is also not firm to handle this waste case. Are there any research ideas related to the economic valuation of this waste, and we can give the recommendation for the government? Thank you.
Okay, well, two interesting questions. So the first one regarding renewable energy, especially when we talk about renewable energy in communities, yes, that is a main barrier, the cost. the cost, and especially because it's in communities, many times we need to get the system just for the community and not for the whole central grid, which also have a extra cost. Now, the thing here is, and is what has happened in many other countries, is that we only use the financial cost in here. The financial cost and financial benefit. Financial cost, the investment cost, the cost of maintaining all this, but we are not taking into account the benefits, the value of the benefits. And when we consider the value of those benefits that are not financial, in general we get, but not always, okay, we get that the projects may be competitive, and then we get more benefit. Now, how, and that is specifically your question, how we can actually consider this benefit, how we can bring them. We can do it through market and non-market techniques. It's not only evaluation in terms of non-market techniques, we can use proxies for markets values. So, for example, when we talk about the fisheries, if we think about offshore wind, if we think about a marine renewable, there will be a benefit for coastal or impacts. So, you know how much the fish cost. You have a market value. You don't need, so you have that market value. You could use also hedonic prices. You can, so you have those techniques if you cannot apply a valuation technique like a stated preference. Now, if you have the opportunity, the funding to do that, I would complement that with stated preference techniques. Contingent valuation, contingent behavior, a choice experiment, and the other news conjoint analysis, or just experiments with financial incentives. That will give you the value of that. And sometimes we need to see what is the value for the whole society. It's not just a value for just that community. What is the value for the whole society, for the whole country, Indonesia? Okay, and if there are trade-offs that we need, that information is super valuable because we can give it to policymakers. And I have seen this done in other places like Colombia, Chile, in Latin America, which is my expertise. On the second point, the plastic waste, there is so much to do there. There is really so much, and places like Indonesia, with currents, with the places where, so, and with a lot of, I see there is a lot of plastic generation here. So the first step on this, and thinking in Indonesia specifically, this wouldn't apply to some other developed countries, would be thinking on recycling, research on recycling, how we can, make more sustainable the use of plastic in water, in bottles for water, in the packaging, so the recycling is the first. And then there is a lot of research in there, not only in social economics research, but also in technical engineering and materials. So then after that, management of resources, management of waste. That's another point for research in this part. Also environmental evaluation of externalities of all this plastic. So what are the costs for the environment, and how we introduce that cost into the priorities of the government. To show, look, the cost is not just how much fish you are stopping for selling. It's much larger. And that's why the government needs to really put effort on those. But the research is what will show the government that.
Okay, thank you. I think we have other question from Sifa. Sifa, is there any question, or maybe from? Oh, yeah. Okay. Introduce yourself. Yeah, your name and where from. Yeah. Okay, please. Okay.
Okay, thank you. My name is Maya. I'm a participant of summer class. I want to ask to Dr. Claudia, what policy making do you think is right to achieve the sustainable development goals, especially to save the oceans? Manuel, like small fishermen, sometimes they are not affected by the impact of policy making. Thank you.
Question for Dr. Claudia.
Okay, assuming that the policymakers are aware of that and they are willing, you need to think about environmental policy instrument and what type of environmental policy instruments. For example, you could think if it is industry or business affecting all these ocean ecosystem services, should we introduce taxes? So, and what type of taxes? Taxes. So, who are those producing the pollution? So, let's introduce a tax, for example, like the carbon tax for the air pollution. In this case, could be a tax for the activities that are, or we can think subsidies for alternative, more sustainable activities. So basically, industry, companies, tourists, ourselves, then have a benefit or an incentive through income you can get because of a subsidy. So you get a subsidy and you reduce your pollution. Then that is what you can get. Other cases such as the air pollution, then you have, for example, quotas. Or now, if you think about this having any impact on fisheries, for example, then you can think about a policy instruments such as quotas of fishing or entrance fees. Okay, which is a kind of tax as well that you can implement in there. That will work mainly with incentives. What type of instrument? It depends what incentives you want to create. What is incentive? Reduction of a certain type of pollution, and then you will have a different spectrum: taxes, subsidies, the market, using the market, etc.
Very much, Dr. Claudia. So I will pose a question for three speakers. Yeah, it's about the problem of plastic rubbish. Yeah. So we know that creative economy also promote the digital economy and produce more plastic rubbish. So okay, from Prof. Imamuddin perspective, or from Mr. Dababseh and also from Dr. Claudia, it's actually how to deal with that. So we want to promote creative industry, yeah, creative economy, but we have also the drawbacks. So how to deal with that problems, yeah, from banking, yeah, from the perspective of the government, the policy making, and also from the environmentalists. Okay, thank you very much. Please do, Prof. Imam.
Thank you. I think we face here the one side we face the problem of the limited resources, and the other side how we can to maximize the efficiency. So we have to combine like the explanations by Mrs. Claudia. We have to combine the aspect of economy, environment, and social. to realize the economic welfare, economic welfare. We can identify with the sustainable development goals, like the items, 17 items of the sustainable development goals, So I think it's like it.
As we all know that there is nothing perfect in life. Everything has a side effect. Even the medicine we take or the surgeries we do for our health has side effects. Of course, the idea is to maximize the benefits of every new technology or every new industries we have in our life, while minimizing the effect of the side effects or the negative effects of it. We all know that, for example, the telecommunication technologies and the methods facilitate our life and make it much easier than before. However, in the same time, it has other side effects on our health as well. When we talk about the increase of the trash we have, for example, in digital marketing, while you order or you buy your products online, it comes to your house packaged with many plastic and many carton boxes and so on, which maximize the volume of the trash every house has than ever before. The issue that I can say here is to, I recommend to use some of the raw materials in producing the packages that may have lower effect on the nature or that may, let's say, be recycled or something. But at the same time, it will, of course, add costs on the customers, where it will rise, of course, the cost. But when we think about it from another side, we find that digital marketing techniques and the delivery that many agencies around the world and inside and among the communities itself helps to reduce the amount of pollution that happens and comes from the cars and other transportation methods. If we go by ourselves to buy our products, each one of us, this will cause a kind of more pollution to the environment and will add another cost for the customers. For example, the digital marketing, it's known that it caused to reduce the costs and time and effort for the customers around the world. But the drawback here is the packages and the trash we have from it. So in my point of view, we need just to use much more, we need much more research and development, looking for the raw materials that we can use to pack our products and deliver it to our customers with the lowest level of harm to the environment. Thank you.
Well, I will, to answer that and to put this point, I will go back to part of what I presented and we already discussed, and I completely will follow up Mustafa comments in terms of research and development. I think the key points on this to achieve this sustainability comes from research. How the research really can improve. We need research to see the best ways to improve. Research and development. And within this, because we are talking about creative economy, where innovation is the key point here. Innovation. But that innovation has to come in a sustainable way. And how we get that sustainable way is with knowledge, education. And then it's not just research, but and the development. Just the research using the research for that step forward, going beyond just the research, but the use of the research, the use and the research in policy and also in education. Because creative economy is mainly, all this innovation is mostly in the hands of the new generation. And it's this new generation, the education to this new generation, what will make and will create all the conscious to get and achieve a sustainable world. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, give applause to all the speakers. Okay, we are already near to the end of session, but beforehand, we will hear the closing statement, maybe just one sentence for each speaker here. Okay, start from Prof. Imam, closing statement, Prof.
Thank you. If we want to promote the creative economy, so we have to promote, especially in the Indonesia as the most Islam countries in the world. So we have to identify about the Maqasid Syariah to produce the creative economy. How we have to promote the Islamic creative economy. It is one issue that related to anticipate the negative impact of the stagflation at the current condition. Okay, thank you.
Well, I will re-thank you for this opportunity that I have taken from Muhammadiyah University to be here between you and to be more open to the Indonesian culture, traditions, and the people. Today was a great day here, seeing you brothers and sisters, and taking more knowledge from my colleagues here, Dr. Claudia and Professor Imamuddin. And I agree with them with all the points. And I think we share in one very important issue here, which is the investment in more research and development and in education of our new generations. Again, we are here the leaders of our economies one a day, of our countries one a day. So we need to reinvest much more in our new generations in education, and the responsibility, of course, toward the nature, not just for ourselves, but to think about others, about the nature, about our countries, to enjoy a better life. So thank you.
Well, to close, I would say my message would be here, respect for the environment, respect for the society, collaboration, because we want to get every time better, so collaborate with others, not just in your area, but in all the other areas. The multifunction, the multidisciplinarity today is the key point to achieve really good partnerships and innovation and development. And yes, it would be respect for this. And again, thank you very much. I would like to thank UMY and all of you for this invitation, and I hope you have a very, very good summer school. And as I said, and you bring everything you learn to use in your future.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give applause. Yeah, thank you. I would like to thanks to our speakers, Prof. Imamuddin Yuliadi, Mr. Mustafa Dababse, and Dr. Claudia Aravena for the presentations and for the participant for all the contribution. Thank you very much. So we hope this seminar will fruitful, gives more knowledge, solution, and inspiration for all of us answering related issues. So see you next time. And finally, we are apologize for any shortcoming, and hopefully we can meet again for the next session for the next year in summer course. And good morning and stay healthy. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you. Could we have a photo session for our participants and the speakers? Okay, please do.
Yo, awak ngene kok.